the City Commission work session Thursday, October 8th. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Rivera.
Here.
Commissioner Rivera.
Here.
Commissioner Arias.
Here.
Mayor Litchfield.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem DeClantis.
Here.
Okay. First, under the discussion items is the annual report from the Clay County Health Council. And that's Brenda Bishop will be giving that to us.
Thank you for allowing me to come tonight. As part of our requirements with the state law, we have to give a report to the county, and we felt it was important to share with you all what we are doing as well. So I sent a variety of documents. The first one looks like this, and it's our, hard to talk with this mask. It is our called Clay County Health Council Impacts. And this is a document that we update every year and to show what our impact has been over the last 28 years. And for every dollar that we receive from the state, specifically for health councils, we have returned back to this community $34. And that's over $23 million that we've leveraged in services for the community. And so I thought it was important to show that to you. You can see there are some of the direct services that we've helped develop. But some of our successes, we've also updated those with the new data. And one of the ones that I'm sort of proud of is the fact that our adults who are meeting the physical activity recommendations has increased by 7%. We've been working on that for a long time, so we're very proud of that. Also, our adult obesity rate has decreased by 32%. That was even more than last year. As you can see, like the suicide rates and some of those things have reduced, but that may be changing after COVID. So one of the things that I would like to try to do with other things is to actually see what we've done this past year. And we have done a lot this past year. So this one sort of looks like this. It says, working for a healthier community 2019-2020 program accomplishments. And I started from last September because that was the last time I came to see you all. So what we've been working on, we did since last September, we did a SWOT analysis for the Health Council and discovered that we really needed to work on our own capacity and sustainability in order to be doing more in the community. We began implementation of that plan, or we created the plan, and we began implementation in July. Currently, we have 71 members, which is up from 34 members when we started the process in 2018. Since COVID, we have successfully moved everything to Zoom. So I'm not used to talking with a mask. I spend most of my day on Zoom.
Well, I think if it's acceptable with everybody else, she could take her mask off.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It'd be easier
Sorry.
for you to talk.
Yes. And I don't have to talk so loud. So we've been successfully, we actually have 9 working committees that are meeting via Zoom. We also have upped our game on Facebook and on Instagram, and we're reaching over 3,500 people a month on those. So increasing physical activity is what we've been working on for a long time, and we do have a grant that helps us with that. And so you can see last year in October, we were able to have our fun run, and we had 132 walkers. We had a great event in September with 210 participants doing scavenger hunts between 2 museums. And so that was a good thing. And we were able to mark a new walking route at the outdoor classroom. And we've been working for a couple of years with the Friends of 5 Mile Park, and we will be marking some paths out there. Then COVID hit, and we had a bunch of plans for every month. We had something. And we couldn't do that, but we were able to squeeze our walk with the dog in between health orders. And so we did have 28 participants with our walk with the dog. So instead, we've talked to our funders, and we've been creating videos and Facebook posts with like scavenger hunts for different areas of town to get out and move around, videos on exercises, videos of things to do at each park, and we've been posting those out on our social media. So we were supposed to do a survey on how people had succeeded in increasing their physical activity, and of course COVID put a stop to people even getting out of their house. So we did a survey on the effects of COVID. And I just highlighted a few things. We did this in April and May, and so things have changed a lot, especially probably those who feel their mental health's worse is probably worse. I mean, but what we did learn is that people didn't get enough exercise. They didn't meet the recommended amount of exercise before COVID, and they definitely weren't meeting it after. They were not eating the right amount of vegetables before COVID, and they were doing worse after COVID. And the same way with fruit. We did find that 43% of people at that time said they were having trouble finding food, healthy food, I shouldn't say just food, but healthy food. And 39% were finding it difficult to prepare healthy food. We know now that through our conversations with parents and online learning, that family mealtime is even harder for those families. They have been struggling all summer. So we've been doing a lot of posts about good food, fruits and vegetables, recipes, and things like that, trying to reach that. And so the social media team was formed, and we were really focusing at trying to reach younger families. So we actually increased our social media presence with a new platform on Instagram. And we are posting at least one post a day, but most of the time two. We were helping Presbyterian Healthcare Services with the work for their community health improvement plan, which we completed that, and they posted it in September, and we agreed to help them this current year, in the year of 2020, with things in behavioral health, social determinants of health, access to care, and healthy living. A lot of those activities that we were planning for them, of course, have been put on hold, so you will see a lot of us in the spring if we get to have things. But those things include some mental health first aid trainings, chronic disease management, all of our active living things. But one of those things is helping people dispose of their drugs properly. So what I have given you in your little plastic bags are ways to dispose of expired medications, over-the-counter and prescription. And these bags are really cool because when you follow the directions, it's real easy. You just put them in there and add some water. The ingredients in there deactivate the medicine, so you can safely throw it in the trash. And it does not get into the groundwater or the soil or any of that. So it's a better deal than flushing it down the toilet or putting it in coffee grounds and burying it and all that kind of stuff. So if you need more, I have plenty of those. So that's one of the things we're supposed to do. During our community forum, when we were doing this, we learned that there was a lot of people who didn't know about local resources, things that I took for granted everybody knew about. So we formed a committee, and we've been working over a year on a community resource directory. So what you have on the pin drives that I gave you is fresh off the press an hour ago, because they just came in UPS, our resource directory that we are completing, and we'll be distributing that in the end of October to everybody else. Thank you. So enjoy that, and let us know if you see anything that we missed. Like, did we forget a resource? So here's some of the stuff we did last September on the falls prevention. That was a wrap up of our grant, actually had wrapped up, and this was extra work we had done. And the thing we're most proud of probably at the moment is our work on intimate partner violence. Our intimate partner violence, we were given an opportunity to do a community readiness survey. And through that process, we learned that the community was not aware at all about what intimate partner violence is or the issue in the community, any resources that are in the community. And so we hosted this online meeting, and then we came up with a plan of attack. Oh, in the meantime, because we had our months of subscription to Survey Monkey, we wanted to make sure we utilized that. We did a survey as well, and we learned that 70.5% of the people who responded to our survey knew somebody who was affected by intimate partner violence. However, people are not reporting. They're not, they just don't take care of that. And there's lots of reasons. So part of our plan is a marketing campaign, which we kicked off this last week, and most of it is on Instagram and Facebook. So if you are on those things, we have a post a day about intimate partner violence, what it is, what the resources are. But the other thing is that we created a brochure. I can't remember if I put those in your packet, but this brochure has local resources. If I didn't, you're welcome to have one. And we are asking people to sign on that they support our media campaign and us building awareness. So we're asking, and I did put that in your packet, asking organizations and individuals to support us. And it's real easy to do that. You just fill out the little form and you turn it into me, or you email me and say, here's my information I support. Or you use the little QR code on the bottom with your phone and you can type your information right in there. So we're real excited about that. And through that process, we learned that there's an issue that affects our victims. And so we are holding a round table. Get the right flyer. It looks like this. So we're holding a round table on the 27th of October. That round table is going to be all on Zoom, so you can do it from the comfort of your home. And this is about the pre-trial detainment process that's going on. And so what we understand is that due to some changes in the Constitution, the Article 2, Section 13, if you want to look it up, and the interpretation by the Supreme Court, the perpetrators are released immediately. So if a victim wants to report and she feels her life, or he feels their life is in danger, this may keep them from reporting or doing anything about it, because if the person is arrested, they're immediately out. So anyway, we're having a roundtable to learn more about that issue. We have several speakers, and then maybe we'll do a white paper or something after that. So that was the last thing on there. So some of the things that we have coming up is we received a grant, and we'll be working on some trail development out at 5 Mile Park, well, mostly signage. And we're working in conjunction with the Friends of 5 Mile Park group. And we have been selected as one of 3 counties to be part of a 5-year grant called Strategic Prevention Framework Partnership for Success. And this will be focusing on reducing drug and alcohol abuse in Quay County. And the framework allows us to pull together local people and figure out what our needs are and find some prevention that fits our community. We're having a kickoff for that with the project coordinator who will be managing the grant out of Hidalgo County. And we have 2 times options if anybody would like to attend. One is on October 13th at 5:30, and the other one October 14th at noon. We have a few slots left for coming in person, or you can participate over Zoom. Just let me know, and my contact, it's on this flyer here, and my contact information's there. So I think I covered everything on my list. Do you have any questions?
Oh, sounds like you've done a lot of work for somebody that retired.
Yeah. I don't do it by myself, though. There's, 71 volunteers. So, anyway, if you need anything, just let me know. My contact information's there, and I'll be happy to.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Brenda.
Okay, so next, we're gonna take his toy away. His presentation from Vincent Chavez with Bands of Enchantment.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
Okay.
Native American, table?
No, that's where I live. That's why I got the name.
The Pueblo? Oh, okay, because the Pueblo named the table and the tea was, you know.
There is. It actually, on my survey map, it's the other spelling. T-E.
Oh, the Chihuahua?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And on the sign on the highway,
Oh, I just thought. Native American.
here you go. Where's it at on here?
Mark or other.
I really messed up my.
That's all right.
Didn't mess yours up. Now, what I've done is I put together a short little video to see what worked.
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Look at my carry. Can't hear
Wires.
Nori Montreal's cousin.
it. Oh.
Yeah.
Is it coming out of the?
It's coming
Yeah,
out of that way.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't control that. I think it's as loud as it can get.
If you
open up the,
The volume.
yeah, you scroll down towards the bottom, open up the little taskbar part. You should be able to hit the speaker icon. You should be able to change the speaker control. That's the Wi-Fi icon. Next one over. That's how much I know about computers. There you go. Yeah, that's. Was there, can you click on the name and a drop down box? Hit the speaker's headphone and unmute it. There you go, try that.
Y'all like me to turn down the lights so you can see the picture a little better?
If you want to.
And that's why I'm the IT guy at the bank.
Pictures, so we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
There we go.
See now, I touched it.
We screwed up in the video now.
No. Here we go.
All right. I like to listen to the music anyway.
So I was born in a small town in southeast of New Mexico, a little town called Hog, right on the state line, New Mexico and Texas.
Is that it?
That's it. Well,
Wow, I didn't even, the popcorn didn't even come.
what I wanted to do is just give you a little bit of a visual of what Bands of Enchantment is. It is a music show. It's a half hour, 22 to 28 minutes long. And the reason we put some of the other elements in that is so that you can see how we're going to work the show. So we're going to use Tucumcari as a backdrop of that show. We're going to highlight Tucumcari in every possible way, whether it be events, community, and promote 66 on the legendary 66 in Tucumcari. Now, Bands of Enchantment is scheduled to air on New Mexico PBS regionally, and we're also going to be on RFD TV, which is a national program in the Cowboy Channel. It's a rural TV. So we're covering two different markets. One's a national market, and one's New Mexico regional PBS. The advantage of PBS is that's regional for regional travel right now during these COVID times. Is what we want to do is help promote local travel. And also keeping that with that in mind, the show will be more set right now just because of circumstances with COVID is that we need to keep it small. We need to keep it private and it's not smaller than what you saw there, but when it's time to and we're able to go beyond the capacities, constraints that we have right now, then we'll be able to open up and do more. And the original plan that we've been working on was back in December. We were looking to have a much bigger program where we were looking anywhere from maybe from 100 to 200 people on a show night that would come into town and stay. We want to do the show on a gear it so that when they come, they have to spend the night or spend the weekend out of it, make a weekend trip out of it. So later in the weekend, a Friday, Thursday evening, something like that. Musicians are going to be, or the acts, I should say, are going to be from regional. They're going to be New Mexican. They're going to be Americana. They're going to be national acts. So the entertainment that we're going to provide on the show is going to be top notch, and it's going to reflect us, and it's going to reflect Tucumcari as well too. So the program is music, promotion. Bands of Enchantment is a little bit more than just a TV show for Tucumcari. It can be a platform for marketing and advertising Tucumcari, as you saw on there. With Tucumcari pieces that were in there, we're going to use that in a backdrop. We're going to do what you call soft sell into Tucumcari into the show, so people will see Tucumcari where the show's at. It's in Tucumcari. You want to see the show? Come to Tucumcari. You want to watch the show? PBS or RFD TV, but it's going to be on Tucumcari. Now, with that in mind, we're also going to be doing a lot of marketing and advertising for the program. New Mexico PBS will be promoting the show. RFD TV will be promoting the show on their rural radio programming station that they have. So we'll be on that channel as well. We'll be doing magazine ads, newspaper, regionally as well. We're going to start with some regional because that's where the attention I think we want to go, but we'll think about it and make sure that it's a good plan that we can attract some people and bring some people in. That's kind of pretty much my spiel. I try to keep it short and it's there's not a lot
There's a
there.
lot in here to read.
There's a lot in there. There's a lot in the read, and mostly I'm looking for questions from you folks. I'm sure you have some on the show.
I'm still confused. So I'm
Commissioner
trying
Moya,
to put it
Commissioner
together.
Moya,
Uh-huh.
I need for you to turn your mic on, please.
Okay. I'm still confused. I have a concept, but I just keep saying Tucumcari. I don't understand. Are you gonna be based out of here or what?
Yes, we want the show to be based out of Tucumcari, New Mexico. So our programming, our model is gonna be Bands of Enchantment from New Mexico, Tucumcari, New Mexico. We'll put up the verbiage, but it's gonna be live from Tucumcari, New Mexico, Bands of Enchantment. This is where we're gonna be. This is where we wanna be. This is what we feel is the place to be. And also too, New Mexico Department of Tourism directed us.
Of course.
They directed us here. They're the ones who brought us to Tucumcari. They said, you need to go talk to Tucumcari. How they knew that, why they knew that, I have no idea, but here I am, and I've been here for several meetings. So we're gonna be based here. We may do a show in another community, but it's gonna be here. It'll be edited. It'll always be Tucumcari Bands of Enchantment. And we may bring in an entertainment from somewhere else and do the show there. If they don't want to come here because of the COVID, then maybe we'll go film it there and then bring it here and edit it all into the programming. If you have seen Austin City Limits programming in the past, we use that model, but we're just tweaking a little bit differently, so we're not completely copying it. We're just making it to fit our area, our demographics, and what we're trying
And
to
how
do
often will
here.
you be on PBS?
Pardon me?
You
We're
said-
scheduled for 8 shows with a 10 show option. Yes, and that's for the first season.
That will be on PBS and.
That'd be on PBS.
And you said another one too, didn't
That's the Cowboy Channel
you?
and
Cowboy Channel.
and DirecTV.
And DirecTV.
Yeah.
And on DirecTV.
That's pretty good.
And your segments are gonna be how long?
Well, we started off with 22 minutes, but I think we're gonna have to bump up to 28 minutes. So it's gonna be a full half-hour show. And the reason we're gonna bump that up is just because I think we're just gonna have to do it just for entertainment, and it's just gonna have to go up to the longer format of the show.
So is this like an first start, or you've done it before, or what's the deal with it?
This is a first for Bands of Enchantment, first for New Mexico.
No, I read the other.
Yes. Now, we've done other projects.
Yeah, I've seen the other part.
We've done other projects.
This type of.
Yes, and what brought this about actually is that we had a meeting with RFD-TV who bought Imus Ranch
Yeah.
in San Miguel County there. So they reached out and said they were looking for some entertainment. Reached out to them, we pitched them some scripts that we had. They didn't want the scripts. They came back with, this is what we want. We want a music show. Marty Stewart just dropped his programming on that show. So that opened up a slot.
Wow.
So that's how we got involved and started with this program. We put this together, concept, created it, passed it to them. They said yes, went to PBS. They liked it. And now it's up. We found the distribution before we found the location, which sometimes we did a little bit backwards.
Mayor, if I may. So, Mr. Tennis, I think this is great. I like the idea. I like the concept. So I guess following back off what Commissioner Moya said, and for clarification, production and home base will be here in Tucumcari, but filming might not always be, correct?
Well, depending on the artist, depending on the circumstance, on the show, but this will always be wherever we're at. Our studio's gonna be at, that's where it'll be. So if we film somewhere else in another community, it's because either logistics, timing, or whatever the case may be. Not because we're gonna particularly go out and look for other venues. But if somebody says, well, I don't wanna go out, you can come to my studio, you can film it here in my house, well, then we'll have to look at it and see if it's something that we want to do.
Have you already kind of house shopped? Have you found a place that you're interested in setting up shop in?
For the show, we looked at a couple of venues. One, I've talked to Mark in the past about the convention center. And then we kind of mentioned a little bit with Connie about maybe doing something at the railroad depot, because that would lend itself to something smaller, to a smaller venue. And those are the only 2 venues that I know of immediately in the area that I can think of. Now, if there's others, then we'll move that around into those locations. So that one, we can promote the railroad, the 66 Museum, and the Convention Center. So those are the ones that I've looked at.
How about the Historical Museum? Have you looked there to see if that would be?
I've seen it only from the outside, so I haven't seen what it lends itself to. Based on what I've seen, the railroad has a nice open area. And
Right.
it's possible, and they mentioned once.
Yeah.
This is looking good because the governor has now brought the New Mexico music back. What is it called? She appointed a board for it. Susana Martinez killed it and killed all the funding to it.
Right.
And now they're also gonna be focusing on East New Mexico, from the last thing I heard from her. And they will be getting funding this coming legislature, so because they have been killed, so that's great. This is gonna probably working with that New Mexico, what is it called,
Culture?
board or the,
Not entertainment, but
it's a board of
cultural.
music, culture board of music or something.
New Mexico Culture?
Culture.
Yeah,
Cultural
music.
affairs?
It's all in music area.
Debbie Gallegos, I think it was.
Actually, I don't know. They have a director, but they have no money, so I don't know.
Okay.
But now the Susana Martinez Michelle Grisham has brought it back. What happened, Susana Martinez stripped the money and transferred to another area.
Right.
So now they're gonna get money this legislature.
Yeah, we definitely want to promote the New Mexican music.
Yeah, of course, because it's very unusual, very unique. This is what people don't understand. There's a lot of differences, you know?
It's our history.
It is a
It's our
very,
culture.
you know, and I lived in every part of the state, the northern one, the south, the east, every part.
Yeah, there's a variety. There's a variety.
So that'd be good.
So then I see that, you have done a lot of the groundwork, a lot of the framework. What else are you needing?
Need funding. Funding, and we are also gonna look out and solicit advertisers for the show as well too. But this is the phase that it's at right now.
You talked to our largest, did you talk to the largest board?
Yes, yeah, I met
What
with
did the
them
largest
twice.
board say?
They liked the idea and they were in favor of the idea, unless I misinterpreted. But
Yeah, Todd was there, so
There's a larger one. Yeah.
there and there.
I think I get that this is the layers on.
Yeah.
So you're kind of putting everything together in one thing. You're gonna get a TV show and some advertising and marketing out of that too, Gary. So it's all in one, inclusive in one, and may allow you to do some other marketing and advertising in different directions for other things that you have. You have different events here throughout the year. Now, we don't want to infringe on the events that you've already established. We don't want to take over
Can you
those
incorporate
events.
them in?
I'm sorry?
Can you just kind of incorporate them in?
Well, we'd have to talk about that. Either we promote it heavily on the show, during the show, or we do segments during that
They
time.
have what they call the rawhide people.
Right,
They have all kinds of stuff. They have New Mexico showcase or something.
they do.
And they
We
have
want
a
to
lot
work
of
with
music,
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to work with them. We just don't want to have anybody think that we want to
Take over.
take
Right,
over.
yeah.
No, I don't think so. They're pretty
No, they don't.
established. They got their own little, things that they like to do. So
Right.
do that.
So on a project like this, what is the figure you have in mind?
Well, we budgeted and we skimmed down the budget, cut it down, and our final budget came out to like 26,000 per episode. I'm only asking for 15 from the city. I'm gonna go get the rest of the funds with advertising and marketing. And as that changes, so will the funding will change with the city as well. But that money will allow us to do a lot of things. One, secure artists right now. It's kind of important for us to get out and get artists. Right now, they're not booking themselves.
No, they can't.
Right.
No. So it's a good opportunity for us, because last year I was calling around and not getting anywhere with any artists. Other than, we'll look at it, we'll think about it, sounds really good. But now they're in a position where they need to get out, whether they go to their studio or they come here. We'd like to get
Your
them
name
down
on
here
people don't forget.
Right, exactly.
So you're asking for 15,000 per episode?
per episode.
Commissioner, the plans have you guys discussed this? Where do you feel like your funding will come out of? We got the
I'll speak
executive
on that.
part, and then we have the promotional part, and I know it's the middle of the,
It was discussed on the executive side.
we got plenty.
And personally, I think it's worked for other communities, not necessarily bands of enchantment, but getting little excerpts. And, being a business owner on Route 66, we have a lot of people that come through because they see just some simple things as YouTube. The lodger's tax was very interested. It's something that puts our name out there.
Well, I like it. I mean, I used to watch that, Austin City Limits, or whatever you call it. I think it used to come out at night.
It's still
Yeah.
on occasionally.
It's still on occasion, I think. I think they're starting a new season coming up.
Saturday nights, I think.
Yeah. New season, they've been doing it for 40 years now.
Yeah.
So it's a good model. If we do it right.
I would like to see it be as much as possible funded by the businesses that want promotion, you know, to commercialize. I think that would be more ideal for the city, but we can't, you know, in my personal opinion, having somebody put all that rope on, you know, Tucumcari is not Albuquerque, it's not Santa Fe. We don't have, and during this time frame right now, a lot of businesses are pinching the purse a little bit.
The whole deal is that, let's get real, you know, Corona has really affected a lot of the business, and really, if we do have the money, we have to somehow or other stimulate it not to come to, start that industry out. And if it takes off with itself, then it can support itself. But, one of the things is that it has always been, that we have always been a cowboy area that is not really put out, because Texas tends to steal that glory from us. And so this will be an opportunity for Tucumcari to express one of our cultures areas. You know, we have other cultures, not the only one. But that'd be one of the ideal cultures, because it is. This town was founded in the cattle industry, and certainly our city should be able to help to get started for the purpose of promoting, because with this Corona, I don't know how long it's gonna go and how much it's gonna hurt us. This be another avenue to attract people. We do have the motels, we do have the restaurants, we do have the locations, so I don't see.
Mayor, if I may, I have one more question. So you said that there is already committed for 8 episodes with the 10 episode option. That's of course can change as it becomes successful.
Oh, yeah,
This
yeah.
could be a long-standing thing
Yeah,
for us.
yes, exactly. It can go on for longer than that. And those are reruns too. So they'll rerun the shows.
So that as it moves forward and we're expanding to different seasons and more episodes, would you require the same amount of funding from the city, or would this be something you would eventually?
We would like to be able at
Sustain.
that point to say, thank you for getting us where we're at.
Getting us started, right.
And acknowledge that, and always acknowledge that.
Okay.
That we
We're looking for more
started
of an investment in the beginning to get on your feet.
Well, and I can see this happening. It's a regional show, so funding coming from sponsors or people asking for promotion initially will go to more of a regional, you know, people in Clayton, Santa Rosa wanting to, invest, put some money into, and which we could possibly, and that's how a lot of these small shows get going, if I'm correct. They get that little kick, and then the more successful is, the more people want to get their name involved. So.
And Mark, you said from the executive side, correct?
Correct.
That's what was discussed.
And our executive side could sustain such a venture?
So let me give you some more background. Some of my ideas that I presented to the lodgers tax, and it seemed like they're in agreement. We have one of the members here tonight, if you want to bounce some questions off of him. But let me just give you some brief history. So we've been talking about this for quite some time. The one thing that we really wanted to do in the beginning, before COVID hit, we were talking about collaborating with Rawhide Days. We were talking about collaborating with Route 66 New Mexico Music Fest. But all that discussion kind of slowed down because obviously by public health order, we weren't able to have those large gatherings. So we've talked about having some smaller concert type scenarios and smaller venues to get things kicked off for this pilot show. The other thing that we discussed was to try to drive that cost down a little bit for the city of Tucumcari. $15,000 is steep an episode for us here in Tucumcari. I mean, our budget is thin. So one of the ideas we had to help have a packed convention center pre-COVID was to allow this to be open to the public. And by doing that, it's a free concert. Everybody wins on it, and we're able to give the convention center at no cost to Mr. Chavez and to his group to film on location. With that, it entice people to come in, stay the night, have it in the evening. So we're building up lodgers tax, and at the same time, we're using that as a match. So maybe we don't have to contribute the full $15,000. That reduces some of their costs. The other thing we've looked at that I brought up was maybe $15,000 is steep. Are we able to do this possibly with $10,000 to $12,000 and see this pilot show and see if it's something truly we want to make Tucumcari the home of this TV series, and then maybe we could reconsider investing more money at that time. Of course, if we are going to be investing the money, we want to have things contractually that we are the home of Bands of Enchantment. We want to have that specifically to Tucumcari. There are certain things that we'd expect if we are going to pitch in that amount of money.
Is there any objection to that on your end?
No.
No, I really like the project, and that's rare for me. Because I really almost couldn't carry. Usually I say no. Because I really like it.
And it's a great idea. We've been discussing it, like I said, for some time, and it gives us a chance to show northern New Mexico culture, Tucumcari culture. It gets to show eastern New Mexico. Like you said, it's very diverse. We have Hispanic culture as well as the ranching and cowboy culture. So it's nice, and that gives us a draw where we're able to get in people and bring in those dollars from Texas even. And as we grow, like you said, we're going to start off. We're starting off now, but we could attract those bigger name artists and have some great concerts here in Tucumcari. We have the facilities to do it, and that's why it's important as well. We'll discuss later about putting some money into the convention center.
Good.
Yeah.
One of the programs we thought about doing too, just because you mentioned cattle and ranching industry, that we did and have thought of doing a show in one of those areas featuring a Western entertainer.
Yeah, because we do still have a huge amount of homesteads around here,
We did.
all the way from the doghouse to the regular rock houses that are out there.
I think that'd be a great show. We can get somebody such as a friend of mine, Michael Murphy out here. He still has some fans.
Still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, still alive.
You know, he did Route 66 commercial here.
A while back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a while. But back in the 80s, he did a Route 66 thing.
Yeah, he's still around. I published a magazine with him for a while. It was called American West. We did it for about 10 years. And I called him my poster cowboy is what he was.
Yeah, he was at that time, he was very into William Campbell, I think, music.
Yeah.
He did something with it.
So if somebody like that, and you're out, we're doing on the outdoor show on a ranch, just kind of giving the history of the areas. We have lots we can draw from here. We have the ranching.
There used to be a guy by name of P. I forgot the name of the guy. He did some videos here back in the 80s, westerns. He did a lot of the ranches in the area. PV, I think it was, or something like that.
Pete?
He was out of Santa Fe.
Then that Ryan Bingham, I mean, he's from New Mexico, so.
I contacted Ryan Bingham last year,
Yeah.
and that's when he was booked. It's pretty solid in Europe, and he's not booked right now.
Right.
He's not booked right
And
now.
I know one of his relatives, so maybe she could
Imagine.
persuade him to get on up here.
Well, I
And
definitely
we
think
do
this
have
is
a lot
great.
of talented
Yeah.
bands too here that you can have some local bands occasionally.
This is really great because Tucumcari is one of the
Right.
places, it's probably the only place where you can mix traditional New Mexico music and country western together. I mean, where we have it on one side, we have it on the other. You know, Tucumcari is the place where New Mexico music and country western meet.
I
So
think
this is
Yeah.
great.
I think that with the access of I-40, we have the ability, once we get that going, momentum, is that we're gonna have people say, I'm coming through. Can we play tonight? And we'll be in a position to say yes or.
Because they go through here all the
They go
time.
A lot.
Look who stopped at your place the other day.
A lot. So we will
Wow.
we will pick
I'm
those up.
impressed.
And those are the people that you'll get for free. They'll do a lot for you. Or minimal cost.
How's, what's your time frame? What are you looking at? What do you want to get on the air?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
I think, with everything the way it is right now, maybe we can start prepping and getting ready. We have to do some, pre-marketing, get on the radios, get some press releases out there, and get those out there so we can start creating a buzz. And then, that buzz will help us pick up some advertisers and some attention right away. So first thing would be those papers in the area, Amarillo, the Eastern newspapers, the regional papers, radio stations, and then looking towards maybe the first quarter of getting ready before spring. Getting ready, so the first show, maybe by March, getting it out there, so that we're ready for the spring and summer.
That'd be right.
That would be a good timing for everybody and
Hopefully COVID be under control.
good kickoff.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Terry.
All right, next we have a discussion regarding funding for Fast TV from lodger's tax. Al, oh, you're gonna do that.
No.
Thought I was gonna get out of it for a minute. And I printed off, papers for you guys with his proposal, and I printed off the one from last documentary that they did. Fast TV Network, Rob Wagner and Mike, Lee had contacted me. It's been a couple weeks ago now. They're interested in doing a historic preservation documentary short film, and they were impressed with what Tucumcari is doing. So we've got the talking tour, the Apache, Loretta's. They've been traveling along Route 66 here since COVID has kind of eased off a little bit, and they said we had more going on in Tucumcari than anywhere else except Tulsa. And so they are interested in coming here. Like Vincent, they wanted to start last week.
Right.
They're anxious to come start. If it's okay, I'll just read their request, what he had sent me. The working title for the episode would be called Tucumcari Heritage Short Documentary, a Legends of Route 66 Special Edition episode. The episode documentary will focus on the continuing need to preserve the heritage of towns like Tucumcari along Route 66. In this episode, we will take a deep dive into the efforts of the men and women of Tucumcari that are making an effort to preserve their town and their section of Route 66. Our plan is to begin production in early October of 2020. Pre-production meetings should take place the last week of September, which obviously we're already past that, but to keep on schedule. The budget of this episode documentary is $20,000. Fast TV Network is requesting the amount of $3,000 from the city of Tucumcari for location production expenses only. Fast TV Network will accept responsibility for the remainder of the budget. If production commences on schedule, a completed episode should be ready to air in early November of 2020. Our intention is to also submit the episode as a short documentary subject on the film festival circuit. On the topic of exposure, the 2 Legends of Route 66 episodes featuring Tucumcari that premiered in 2019 garnered over 3 million views each on Fast TV Network.
Yeah.
Because of our growing viewership, we anticipate receiving in excess of 5 million views worldwide with the Tucumcari Heritage episode. And then he has his phone number in. They just recently did a short documentary. I think, Todd, maybe they got a hold of you when they were in town. They were coming through. They aired that episode just kind of giving an update on how businesses are surviving COVID. Within, it was less than 24 hours, it had already garnered over 1 million views.
Wow.
So they have a very vast viewer
Is that
audience.
the 2 guys that came to your restaurant from no, that was the cooking.
Yeah, that was cooking, that was the.
Yeah.
These are the 2, they were here during our fall quarterly event last year, and then during the event at the Odeon Theater.
Okay.
So they did that episode, and then now we were,
Right,
had some
okay.
featuring
I
in this
remember
one.
that. Okay.
So, I can call Rob. I have his number. If you have questions that you would like, he's available to call right now. Or I can do my best to answer for him.
What are we looking at from executive as well?
Same thing from executive. This has also been presented to the lodgers tax, and they are in full support. I mean, that's amazing. The potential views, 5 million potential views for $3,000. You don't come across that kind of opportunity.
No, I'm saying,
They do really good work.
run fast. and get
They
it.
were here
Can we
last
add that
year.
to the agenda?
Yes, last October.
So both of these items are on the agenda tonight.
Okay, good.
And they are also talking about, if this is approved, bringing in a neon restoration person with them when they film to look at some of the neons that we're talking about restoring and kind of feature those on this episode. Give us a little exposure as to what we're doing and give us an idea of what it's going to take to restore some of those, like the Odeon, and we'd have to decide which ones we want to focus on during that episode. But I think it's going to be a great episode, and we've got this neon sign project that we're working on right now.
Right.
That they're willing to feature that in there as well. Good exposure for Tucumcari.
That's great.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for your.
Anybody else have any questions?
Ask Mr. Patel, he sits in there, what do you think of the project, of most of them?
I think they're great ideas. Fast TV, we already got in the door, as you see the results. With the Bands of Enchantment, that's another opportunity for us. Highly recommend we do not miss that opportunity.
Right.
And then everything after that is negotiable, but double thumbs up from LTV.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, anything else?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and I guess we're adjourned till noon.
Thank you.
Recorders are off. Sure sounds promising, but sounds good.
Well, it sounds like there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
Because he's COVID.
Hey, how are you?
Well, we always said we just need the opportunity.